We embarked on a 7-night adventure aboard the legendary Queen Mary 2, crossing the iconic Transatlantic route to New York. We had sky-high expectations, but to our surprise, it didn't quite live up to the hype. Could this be the most disappointing cruise we've ever experienced? This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Well, ahoy there, cruisers, and welcome back to the Queen Mary 2, the world's only ocean liner. We've just woke up after a lovely sleep. It was actually quite rocky last night on board, and this morning it's very foggy. I can hear the fog alarm, the fog horn, which is quite funny. I don't think I've heard that on a cruise ship before, but yeah, we've almost finished our journey to New York. We're ready to get in, and we can't wait to bring you everything on board today, including our full review. One thing really surprised us, and it isn't positive, which we're a little bit disappointed with. We'll let you know. We're going to fill you in with everything on board and give you our brutal review. We're going to order some breakfast in bed as well. We've slept in a little bit, and they do a brunch menu, so we're going to order that and see what it's like. Some of the stuff sounds really nice, and then we're going to show you our journey into New York, which we're really excited about. First time we've ever taken a Cunard cruise, so we're going to show you more food, fun, what we got up to. So let's do this. Let's order some breakfast in bed and grab ourselves a cup of tea and a nice biscuit to start the day off with. Very British indeed. David can't hear me, but he's just doing some editing for our Patreon channel, because we do a behind the scenes videos all the time. He knows what I'm doing. So yeah, so we do behind the scenes. So do consider joining our Patreon. We put some really fun videos up. Good morning, David. Our room service has arrived.
Good morning. Sorry.
Like a serial killer or something?
I'm quite hungry because we did skip dinner last night, and we actually did. So we have ordered room service. We went for the brunch menu. Did Ben explain that you have to put the breakfast menu out the night before to get breakfast? You have to fill out the card that hangs on your door. And if not, you have to go for brunch, which starts a little bit later. But we're fine with that. And it looks really good. Should we tuck in?
Let's tuck in.
Yeah, so I went for the salmon bagel with poached egg, and this comes with an open-faced bagel and absolutely lots of salmon on top. Look how much salmon is on there. It looks fabulous.
It does look very good, doesn't it, David?
It actually looks very good. I'm going to tuck in.
It took about an hour to come though, so it was quite slow, but still, I'd rather have quality over soonity.
That is really nice. The poached egg is perfectly cooked. Lots and lots of salmon with a nice big dollop of cream cheese underneath and a nice toasted bagel. That was worth the wait. What did you get, Ben?
Right, I got what I like to call a frittata. So it's like a little quiche thing, but without any...
I think everybody calls it a frittata, Ben.
Oh, geez, that looks interesting.
Is that what you were expecting?
No.
You look a bit confused.
It looks a bit weird, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a frittata. It's like all juicy at the bottom, but we'll have a try.
Not good.
No, that's genuinely not very good at all. But I also got...
Thankfully, we had a backup dish.
Yeah, we got a backup dish just in case. That's not good at all. That tastes really weird. Ugh. Doesn't taste like eggs. It tastes like, it's like a weird texture, like tofu. But I got avocado on toast as a little backup on. So let's have a little try, shall we? Poached egg on top. I don't know how to eat it. It's a bit weird. I don't know how to eat this because it's a strange shaped toast. It's like a finger bread. Let's have a try.
It's more of avocado on a garlic bread than it is avocado on toast.
No, that is good. That is delicious. The avocado is delicious. It's really limey, very lovely, sweet, sour, tasty, savoury. Very good start to the day, I think. That's going to set me up nicely. I'm glad I got a backup dish just in case, because that did sound a bit weird anyway, the frittata, but that's not a normal frittata, because a frittata is like a big omelette, like a thick omelette, but that's not right at all. But I'm going to enjoy this. Cheers, guys.
So we've had a lovely final day on board before we arrive into New York tomorrow, and it's our final evening on board. So we're going to give you a breakdown and an insight into what we think about Cunard and get into the nitty-gritty of this video. I'm going to start with the cabin review. Overall, it's been a comfortable stay, but there has been some issues with this cabin. I know we touched on it on a previous video, but these cabins with the connecting doors are extremely noisy, so do not book one of the cabins with the connecting doors. Also, we've had issues with the air conditioning. It's quite warm in the cabin. It's not very good at all. And around the cabin, the general wear and tear, it's starting to show its age. It really is. desperately needs updating, especially those bathrooms, and it hasn't got any of the modern things you expect, such as plug sockets next to the bed. It all just looks a little bit old and tired. Now, not to be completely negative, the beds were very, very comfortable. That balcony is very big and very spacious. We love the cove balconies because you feel sheltered, and it is generally quite a spacious cabin actually. For the two of us this week, it's actually been okay space-wise. So we're going to give the cabins a 3 out of 5. They're nothing to write home about. They desperately need updating, but it's been a comfortable stay this week.
Yeah, totally agree. Even things like the hairdryer and stuff are so outdated. It's the really, really old style. Lights are out in the room as well. I told our room steward on the first day about it, and it still hasn't been replaced. So half the lights aren't working in our cabin, so it's a bit dull and dim in here. But she's an old ship. You've got to expect that. We can forgive things like this. Anyway, let's talk about the technology on board. Not something that we thought we'd see much of. Before you get on your cruise, you can log on to Cunard, giving your booking details, your name and things like that. And then you can book things like your drinks packages. You can book things like shore excursions, all of that jazz, all of the things that you can normally do, restaurants and things like that. When you're on board, there isn't an app, but when you do connect to the internet, you can go to myvoyage.cunard.com, and it's like a web page kind of app thing, similar to P&O Cruises if you've watched our videos on that before. But to be fair, it's a pretty good interface, guys. It really works. You can look at onboard dining, you can look at things like menus, shore excursions, you can take a look at your live onboard account as well to see how much you've spent, have a look at things like entertainment, bars and lounges, and the daily program as well. So the daily program is delivered to your room every day, just giving you all of the insights of what's going on that day in terms of entertainment, opening times, all of that sort of stuff. But you can have a look at it on here as well, which is great. And to be fair, that's not bad. Now, the TVs are a little bit of a letdown really, because they aren't interactive like the rest of the Carnival brands are. So they are a bit outdated compared to Queen Anne a few weeks ago. Something that could have easily have been refitted and retrofitted like the Princess ships have, with their huge on-demand library, especially on a Transatlantic where there isn't much stuff to do here and there during the day. It's nice to have a good TV system to be able to just chill out in your cabin, listen to the sound of the waves and watch something. So that is really poor, and we found the signal to be terrible. I'm not sure if it's been broadcast on the ship or it's a satellite, but it's terrible. Talking about satellites though, the ship has Starlink and it is amazing. The quality of speed is incredible. The best I think I've seen on any cruise line ever. I was getting 100 megabytes per second or around there, 70, 80 in the middle of the Atlantic, which is absolutely fantastic. It has been so good. So I'd give the technology a good 4 out of 5. The only thing that let it down was the poor TV system, but overall, very good. Very surprised with that.
So let's talk about who you'll find on board this ship in terms of the passengers. So where do they come from? Well, mainly the main bulk of people are from North America, so the US and Canada. You do find some Brits on here as well, and people from Europe as well, so there's quite a few Germans on this cruise because it did start in Germany. Now the age, it's an older crowd, so I'd say 70s and upwards is the main bulk of people that you find on the ship. Generally, it's people that just want to relax, have a quiet time, spend the days reading the book and then going out for dinner and dancing on an evening. So it is very much in the style of that traditional type of cruising.
Squarespace is your all-in-one solution for creating your online presence. Quickly and easily design a website that reflects your unique vision and captivates your audience on any device. You don't need any experience in design or coding, and that's the reason we chose to build our website using Squarespace. And with the brand new Squarespace Blueprint, a guided design system, you'll start building a completely personalized website. Choose from loads of professional layouts and templates and customization options to create a digital space that resonates with your audience and brand. Unlock the potential to be discovered quickly with integrated SEO tools, and seamlessly optimize your website to be seen by more people. And with the Squarespace app for iOS and Android, you have the power to edit your website, track analytics, and manage your website from anywhere. It's perfect for us because we're always traveling. Whether you're a blogger, artist, entrepreneur, or anything in between, Squarespace has you covered. From personal portfolios to robust e-commerce solutions, Squarespace offers you all of the tools you need to shine. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ben and David to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Gotta say, one thing that's really surprised me on this ship is the formality. Now, before getting on Cunard, especially the Queen Mary 2 for the Transatlantic, I thought it was going to be all collars and suits and tuxes and hats and gloves and all of that stuff. I couldn't have been any more wrong. I'm a little bit gobsmacked, to be fair, because there isn't really any formality apart from maybe 2 nights when they have the dress-up nights, where most people tend to do dress up in suits or nice dresses or whatever you want to wear. But mostly around the ship, basically every night, it's kind of like casual formal. So all you're really required to wear is sort of a dress or a collared top, and people are really informal, guys. It's really surprised me. I don't know if I'm disappointed or not, because I'm not one for dressing up anyway, but it has shocked me. I thought it was going to be very, very dressy uppy, but it hasn't been. It's been less formal than I thought it would be, so I felt a lot more comfortable about it, but it has been pretty shocking. I was really expecting it to be really over the top, elegant and luxury, but it absolutely is not. It's like any other cruise line, like Princess maybe, like Celebrity, that sort of thing. So that was a little bit of a surprise. So if you're worried about that, don't be. You can also choose not to eat in some places and dress up on formal nights, like the pub, like the buffet, places like that. You don't have to dress up. The casino, they're not required dress codes. Everywhere else it is. And by the looks of it, on formal nights they are pretty strict, but people were really sort of pushing with the dress code and not really dressing up that much most of the cruise. Yeah, so that's definitely been one of the most surprising things. We've even seen shorts, flip-flops and things like that in dining rooms, even Crocs. But yeah, nobody's really battering an eyelid. It's kind of quite just like a normal cruise. So I don't know if I'm disappointed, but I was expecting a little bit more, I have to say. David's disappointed because he does like dressing up. So, but for me, I felt quite comfortable just wearing my normal polos and trousers and trainers or sneakers in the USA. I fit in perfectly here.
I won't say I'm disappointed because I won't want to do it all the time, but I think for the occasion, that's what I'm most disappointed about. I was expecting to experience that sort of old style cruising, and I've lugged my suit all the way from home to the ship just for this occasion, thinking I'd wear it a lot more than I actually have. So I am a little bit disappointed in that sense, because I did think the Cunard experience would include that, and that's what you're paying for, and we haven't really got that.
Right, should we go for some dinner? I'm starving.
Yes, let's do it.
So yes, we came for some dinner, and weirdly enough, we've only found this place on the last night. It's basically connected to the King's Court buffet, and it's called the Chef's Galley. Now, between 6 and 9, you just sort of help yourself to a nice sit-down table, and they serve pasta and pizza, so like an Italian, and it's all complimentary, included in the price of your cruise as well. So we've sat down, popped in our orders. It's a nice little restaurant. It's just basically first come, first serve, so you just sit wherever you want, but it is table service once you sit down. So looking forward to this. I love a bit of Italian food. I've got to say, guys, we're both feeling a bit queasy tonight because it is moving quite a lot at the moment. It's quite windy outside and the ship is rocking a little bit. Now, the ship has handled the waves really well compared to some other ships we've been on. You can tell she's built for it, but still bring that seasickness medication just in case.
So we've placed our orders in. The menu's very simple. It's pizzas, pastas, and then they only have one starter, which is a Caesar salad. So we both went for the Caesar salad. It's quite small, guys. It's not the best Caesar salad in the world, and it does come with anchovies, which we didn't realise, so I'm just going to eat this because Ben doesn't like that fish. It's not the best Caesar salad. I think I've had better Caesar salads in the buffet. Very, very fishy. The Caesar sauce is quite watery, and the croutons are not crispy at all. A little bit disappointed with that one. So we have finished our dinner in that restaurant. Sorry we didn't film much actually in the restaurant. It got quite busy and we were quite close to other people, so we didn't want to disturb them. But the pizza came. The pizza was fine. It was tasty. Nothing to write home about. Pretty decent. It kind of reminded me, it was on par with sort of the other free pizzas you get on other cruise lines. Wasn't the best. The pasta came as well. Again, very similar to what you'd get in the buffet or the main dining room, but that is a free restaurant. But I guess it was nice that it was an alternative option to the main dining room, and it was a little bit fancier than going to the buffet. But overall, it was just fine. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Again, with the dessert, we got the cannelloni, which was quite tasty actually. It wasn't very crunchy, but it had nice flavours to it.
So one of the most important things, let's give you our food review. And we have to admit, this is where the ship really did disappoint us quite a lot, guys. It hasn't been great. Now, let me preface this with saying that it hasn't been particularly that bad or unedible, but it just hasn't lived up to the expectations we had. We have had a few good meals, one in the pub. Afternoon tea was a lovely experience. The food wasn't the best, but the experience was absolutely fabulous. The food in the main dining room, blah. Very much similar to lower lines like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival Cruise Line. Nowhere near as good as cruise lines like Princess, Viking, Celebrity Cruise Line. They're all called luxury cruise lines like Cunard is. So it might seem like we're going a little bit hard on them, but we're not, because they do say that they're a luxury cruise line, and they are expensive as well. A lot more expensive than, say, those other cruise lines, those non-luxury ones. But overall, very bland, very meh, nothing special about it, if you know what I mean. And that's something that we're really disappointed about, because we were expecting all of the fanfare and all of the magic of traditional cruising and things like that, but it isn't something that we've experienced. On the whole, it's been pretty blah. Now, you might be thinking, oh, they're just going away and complaining, but this is our job. We're critics, we're cruise critics, and we genuinely want to give you our honest opinion. It's your hard-earned cash. We have seen over all of cruising since COVID, things have went downhill. So, and we've spoken to quite a few people on board, our lovely subscribers who've came up and said hello, and all of them are saying, I sailed with Cunard on the ship 5 years ago, and it was completely different. The food was so much better. So we're hearing it from a lot of people. It's not just us saying this as well, and we were just expecting just something much more grand and beautiful. We had some great meals on the Queen Anne last week. It was completely different to this. It's on line with those lowest cruise lines. In some cases, it felt like I was on Margaritaville or a very cheap budget cruise line, because the food just wasn't great. Both of us have had sort of like dodgy tummies after eating basically every day. We haven't got a bug or anything like that, but it hasn't kind of sat with us. It feels a bit cheap, like the food's a little bit cheap overall. Portions are all very small and sort of all over the place. There isn't very much consistency in the warmth of food and how slow it is sometimes. It's just disappointing, guys, and we have to give it a 2 out of 5. And I genuinely think in some cases we are being very generous there, because we want to give you our honest, truthful opinion. We are so lucky that we get to go on so many different cruise lines, luxury, non-luxury, and compared to other cruise lines in this price range, we paid $5,400 for the both of us for a sheltered balcony. That's one of the lowest classes of balcony, and that's expensive for 1 week. It's really expensive. It's sort of $700 a night, so we would have expected a little bit more. It is what it is though, isn't it?
So let's talk about entertainment and activities. Again, like the food, we are a little bit disappointed with this one. It's very slim pickings on this cruise. We expected the entertainment to skew older, and we knew that they had lectures on board. They have the RSC, which is the Royal Shakespeare Company. So actually we were looking forward to that, because we do still enjoy that. And even then, they have been very few and far between, like 1 or 2 lectures a day. The subjects have not been that great. We did see that one good lecture, and that was it for the whole cruise. The RSC Company, 1 or 2 shows, again, very short, 45 minutes. They were okay, but nothing spectacular. So overall, very disappointed. And overall, we feel like there's been no fanfare. There was no sail away party, for example. There's not been any big parties on the ship, like a little toast to anything. It doesn't feel grand. It doesn't feel like there's been that much to do. We expected to see lots of classes, like we know there is dance classes, but again, 1 a day, and they're very busy. The art class you have to pay for. There was no other classes. There was no other enrichment. It just kind of felt very sparse. You're basically, unless you're reading or relaxing, there's nothing much else to do on the ship. Also, the planetarium, disappointingly, that is not working. We've heard that's not been working for a while, so that is a big thing that's missing. And there is a lack of movies, like we mentioned earlier, on the TV or anything. So at times we do kind of find ourselves just wandering around, not really doing much. It doesn't help that the weather has not been good as well, so that doesn't help in its favour. But overall, we're going to say 2 out of 5.
So next I'm going to talk about the ship and give our review, and this is something that we haven't been disappointed with. This ship is bonkers. It's absolutely like nothing else that we've been on before. Now, whilst the food and entertainment might not have been good, the ship, I think, has satisfied our curiosity about it, because it is very different to anything else. It's the world's only ocean liner left sailing. There were ones before, but this is the only one left, and it is absolutely unique, very traditional, lots of wood. What you think that cruising would have been like in the olden days when it first started. It really hasn't disappointed. It's a massive ship for the amount of passengers on board. There's loads of room everywhere. It is a little bit difficult to get around because of its design, but that's just an old school design. But there's just so many little pockets and areas that you can go. It feels very spacious. I have to give it a really good review. 5 out of 5 for what it is. Now, it might not be our favorite ship of all time. It isn't, but for what it is, it's fantastic. It really does work. She's starting to show her age a little bit now. She's, what, 20 years old? I think she was born in 2003, so 21 years old. So she is getting on a little bit. She could do with a refresh here and there, but mostly really fantastic. I'd give her a 5 out of 5 for what she is. She hasn't disappointed at all. Yes, she's old, but she's just an icon. She's iconic. She's a queen.
So we're back in the cabin and we're going to talk about the service on board the ship. Now, unfortunately, again, we have been quite disappointed with this. Before coming on the cruise, we imagined the service would be very formal. We had this vision in our head of the white tuxedos, the white gloves. We almost were worried it was going to be far too stuffy. In fact, it's been the complete opposite, to be honest. We found the service a little bit blah, and I don't mean anybody was rude. No crew member was ever rude to us, but there was just a lack of something. You couldn't really speak to the crew. Nobody made conversations. At dinner times, your meals were usually just plonked in front of you and the crew member ran off to do something else, never introduced themselves. We were never ever offered a drink. On occasion, in dinner times, we were offered drinks until halfway through the dinner, and nobody ever offered you a drink when you were wandering around the ship. There was a lack of something special, and overall the crew seemed kind of miserable. Nobody really smiled at you, engaged with you, or chatted to you, and it was very, very cold. Now, I don't want to say this is a problem with the actual crew members, because they were clearly overworked, particularly in the main dining rooms. The reason they can't have conversations with you is because they're just so busy, and that's why they're running off all the time, and that's why they're getting things wrong. Like, there was quite a few times they actually got our orders wrong and things like that. There's clearly been huge cuts in the crew, and that is affecting crew morale, and a few crew members didn't seem to really know what they were doing, so I don't think they've actually been trained very well. A lot of the crew members seem to be either brand new or just not very well trained, and again, this is something we were told from people that used to come on Cunard a lot. The same people that said a few years ago the food was great, they said a few years ago the crew and the service was this white star service that you expect, but now it's just the same as any other cruise line. It's very similar to the kind of service that you receive on the budget side of cruising. So unfortunately, disappointingly, we're going to give the service 2, and that's not for the crew. We want to stress that because they work their behinds off constantly. They work 7 days a week, super hard, but the service that we received was unfortunately only a 2 out of 5, and that is merely because either there's not enough crew or they're just not been trained enough.
Yeah, we just didn't receive the sparkle that we thought we would, and like David said, it's not a reflection on the crew. The crew are amazing. They just looked very unhappy. We can walk onto a ship, we do it so many times that we can see in just a few minutes what the crew morale is like, and it's not good, guys, let me tell you that. And it can't be easy on these cruises because they don't get any days off really, because they're at sea every bloody day and there's no ports to get off and have a break and enjoy themselves for a few hours, disconnect from work. So I can understand why this would be a very tough job indeed. They work their behinds off. Anyway, we just wanted to sum it up really, just that we're a little bit disappointed. We're not being spoiled brats here, guys. This is a lot of money and we've paid for this for ourselves, and we are a little bit underwhelmed. We're leaving this ship underwhelmed. I think that's how we would put it. I was expecting the fanfare and the magic of transatlantic cruising and cruising in the past, and it just isn't like that at all. It's nowhere near a luxury cruise line. Now, it might be in the suites, we don't know that. If you're in a princess suite, a queen suite, there's lots of different levels, guys, but here at the bottom, not luxury at all, which is really unfortunate. It didn't have the sparkle and the finish that we were really expecting from one of the world's oldest cruise lines as well. A cruise line that should be getting these things right. It just absolutely did not. It's very underwhelming. Anyway, we're going to head to bed, set an alarm to get up tomorrow morning and see the sail into New York, and we'll take you off into New York. We'll have a really fun day. We don't like to be negative, but we have to be honest. We can't lie to you guys. We really can't lie to you guys. There's lots of influencers out there, not saying cruise people, who get paid to say nice things about things, and we have to tell you the truth. Our truth might not be your truth. This cruise might be suited to other people, older people, different people. We don't know, but for us, it wasn't for us. Well, a very good morning, everybody. We have arrived in New York City. We got up very early, about 4:30. As I opened up the curtains, the first thing I saw was the Statue of Liberty bang in front of us, which was amazing. Then we had a lovely sail in. We saw parts of Manhattan, Brooklyn. It was really lovely. So many people were out doing the same thing as well. Beautiful day. The only time we've done this before was on the Enchanted Princess. Go watch that cruise. We did a whole cruise up the east coast of the USA and Canada, and it was spectacular, but it was so foggy and misty here in New York, so we didn't really see anything. This morning, completely different and spectacular. Anyway, we're going to get off in New York, head into the city and have a fun day and wrap things up and talk about this cruise.
Well, ahoy! What are we doing?
Well, hello. Oh, ahoy. We've arrived in NYC, the Big Apple. We're staying at the Virgin Hotel. We've dropped off our bags because it's only 8:30 a.m. But we'll give you a little little tour of our room when we get in there later on. We're just going to go for some breakfast, explore. We're not going to film that much in New York, because I'm guessing you've all seen it before. And we're going to see a show tonight, Merrily Along We Go, I think it's called. It's got Daniel Radcliffe, Jonathan Groff and Lindsay somebody in it. I'm very excited indeed. It was incredibly expensive, so it better be bloody good.
Yes, cost of Broadway tickets compared to the West End are extortionate, so fingers crossed it is a good show. Disembarkation this morning was very, very quick and easy. We did self-walk off and there was no queue at all. We were straight off, straight into an Uber, or a lift actually, and then straight over here in the car, which was very quick.
Right, let's go have a lovely day, shall we?
So we're on our way to explore New York, and we had to stop for some coffee and a little bite to eat. We got ourselves some cold brewed coffees. Cheers, Ben. And I got myself a croissant, an almond croissant, and this looks amazing. So this restaurant is called Le Pain de Doupidou. Le Pain de Anyway, I've seen a few of them over New York, and it was nice and quiet. You can eat in as well, but we just decided to do the grab and go service. But look how amazing that looks. This looks amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Everything here looks amazing. Really buttery and sweet and flaky. That is actually very, very tasty. The coffee is really good as well. I went for a cold brew and Ben went for an iced latte. It's nice, dark and rich. Good breakfast. A little bit expensive though. This was $30.
David, that coffee is delicious, an oat latte iced. It is so creamy and delicious and full of lots of coffee. I went for a French cream donut and it looks delicious, guys. I'm going to have to spoon it. There is no way I am going manual in there because this top will be ruined. So let's have a try. Oh my God. Oh, pivot, pivot. That pivoted right in my mouth and it was blooming delicious. Oh, absolutely yummy McYum face. Oh, the heavens have opened. We just got to Times Square. We saw Jeremy Renner. We didn't film it because it was so quick, come out of the Good Morning America studios where he was being interviewed. But it's pouring it down in rain. We might as well be in the UK. Guys, something amazing just happened as well. We just exchanged contracts on our new house and our old house, which means that it's set in law now that we are moving. Our house is sold and we're buying our new house. It happened in Times Square, which is the most surreal thing ever. So yeah, that is the best news ever. We also managed to bag tickets to Kelly Clarkson's show as well, which is filmed here in New York. We just got the notification to say we've been given tickets, which we were waiting for, which is awesome. So it's ending up being a very good day indeed. I'm very happy indeed. Oh my gosh. David McDonald live from Times Square.
I do feel like I'm live from Times Square for NBC News. Yeah, so we went for a coffee, and while we're having the coffee, we were looking at things to do today. We've been a little bit disorganised in planning stuff, and there was quite a few things that did pique our fancy, but they were fully booked. So we did want to do a studio tour of the NBC studios, but that was fully booked. And we also did flirt with the idea of going to the New York Transportation Museum, but that's right over in Brooklyn. Then Ben, just on a whim, said, let's see if we can get tickets to the Kelly Clarkson show.
Clarkston.
Well, whoever she is, she's an independent miss. Get tickets to her show, and we did. So we're going to have a stroll over to the studios now. I'm going to get there nice and early because you're not guaranteed entry, and have a look around as well on our way. It's very exciting, but yeah, we should have done more research and we should have planned things a little bit better. We've been a little bit lazy on this one. So if you do come to New York, make sure you plan and get tickets before they all sell out.
So we've been well and truly day after tomorrow here in New York. The heavens just opened. I saw Jake Gyllenhaal walk past in a taxi trying to get to his hotel before the apocalypse starts happening. It went pitch black, started throwing it down. Got PTSD now, guys, so we're just hiding under the Renaissance Hotel, I think it's called, until it clears up a little bit. Then we're going to head over to the Rockefeller Center to queue for Kelly Clarkson. We might not get in, it's not guaranteed, but hopefully this rain puts some people off. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely blooming nuts. End of the world stuff. Love a good dramatic movie, and I felt like I was in one there. That was fabulous. Oh, what an absolute adventure of a day that we've had today, David.
This day has been the most bizarre day I've ever had. From where we was this morning, sat having a croissant and a coffee, to what has happened. Sounds like something from a movie.
Well, like we said, we exchanged our house first of all. Then we went and got tickets for the Kelly Clarkson show. So
last minute.
A big show here in the US. We were first in line. We got in. Fabulous show. We saw Jeremy Renner, who was one of the event Avengers, a few other people as well. And then all of a sudden, Chris Pratt rolls in, you know, the movie actor, and they do a little competition, David, and what happened?
The idea was that they would choose one audience member to win $1,000 courtesy of some sponsored company, and the camera landed on me. So a microphone was passed to me, and I had to say my name and what I would do with the money that Chris Pratt and Kelly Clarkson asked me. The first thing that popped into my head was a cruise, obviously, so I said, I'll go in on a cruise.
What's your name?
David.
Wait, say it again?
David.
David, nice to see. What are you going to do with $1,000?
Gonna go on a cruise.
Yeah!
I mean, I don't know how far you're going to get with $1,000. That would be a gratuitous. I'm pretty shocked, to be honest.
Shocked is not the word. So not only did you get to talk to Kelly Clarkson and Chris Pratt, who, oh my God, it was amazing. The whole show was amazing, guys. It was fantastic. It took about 4 hours. So went way over time, so we had to run back to our hotel. We've checked into the Virgin Hotel. Now, this cost us about $300, but they have upgraded us for some reason.
Because it's our anniversary. And I told them it was our anniversary on the booking form. They said, are you celebrating anything? And I said, yes.
Yeah, so we'll take a little look around our room. So as you come into our room, it's really nice. It's split off into several sections. So as you walk in, you've got the sink, you've got a little desk area with some wardrobe space. Then you come into our room, and here you can see those absolutely beautiful strawberries, chocolate strawberries that David got, which is lovely.
Yeah, so they gave us them. And they gave us a cocktail as well, which we're not going to have because we're too tired. But a cocktail at the bar.
Yeah, and then you've got the little fridge, which is a red Smeg fridge with some little bits like a coffee machine. And then you're into the bedroom area, which is really nice. I'm very impressed. It does look like a Virgin hotel. We've never stayed in one before, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And then just look at this. Our view, we've got a blooming Empire State Building view, David. How amazing is that?
It is amazing. This day has turned into one of the best days ever. I don't know what happened, but it was so fun.
Crazy. So on the way back, we had to run and grab some food. So we got some pret-a-manger's. We got a sandwich.
So American. That British-French company.
Because of how long Kelly Clarkson bloody went on for, we didn't get back to the hotel till 6 p.m. The show that we went to, Merrily We Go Along. What's it called? Merrily Go We Long.
So Merrily We Roll Along.
Merrily Roll Along was fantastic. Daniel Radcliffe, yes, Harry Potter. You've got Jonathan Groff from Glee and some other stuff. And then Lindsay as well, who's a Broadway star. Really good, guys. Daniel Radcliffe can't act to save his life, but he can actually quite sing. And Jonathan Groff and the other lady, Lindsay, was incredible. But guys, we are just absolutely exhausted. What an adventure from getting off a cruise this morning.
At 4 a.m. we woke up this morning to see sailing. And it's, it's coming up to 10 p.m. now. So it's been a long old day.
I am absolutely exhausted. So from that bit of a disappointing cruise to the most fabulous day, my God, guys, even having pret-a-manger was amazing because the food was so bad. If we didn't tell you this, we ordered room service a few days ago, and the cheese plate came. What did they give us, David?
Oh, burger cheese.
The cheese plate we ordered with burger cheese. Actual burger cheese.
Yeah, so it was slices of what we call burger cheese in the UK. I don't know what you call it in America.
Kraft cheese, maybe it's called here. Do you know the really cheap cheese you put on a burger?
On a beef burger. We call it burger cheese, and it was slices of burger cheese.
Luxury cruise line doing that. But hey, we're not going to go on about it, guys. We're very lucky to be where we are, but we are glad to be here.
I've had such a fun day.
Me too. It's been amazing.
I can't believe that we got off this morning, went to see Kelly Clarkson, won $1,000, came out with gift vouchers for running shoes, and to go and see Chris Pratt in the cinema, and to then go and see Harry Potter and the actual day. Harry Potter.
It's been a weird day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button and the bell button. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and a big thank you as well to our patrons. It's your support that keeps this channel going and growing. But in return, you also get extra benefits like completely advert-free videos. We also upload them early, and we do a big video call every single month as well with all our patrons, which is a lot of fun. If you'd like to find out more, click the link in the description section below. Now, we are going to bed. We've got another long day tomorrow.
We're going to Florida.
Because we're going down to Florida.
Disney magic time next time. So that's it for this time.
Happy cruising.
Is that what we say? That's it. I can't remember what we said, guys.
That's it till next time. Happy cruising.
That's it till next time.
Happy cruising. Can you believe I won $1,000 with Kelly Clarkson?
I just can't believe you got to talk to Chris Pratt more than anything. I'm jealous.
He gave me the eye before he announced
did he?
it. He
Did
looked,
he?
and you went, why did Chris Pratt just wink at you?
He did. It was very...
He was really strange.
What a day. See you later, guys.